So I think we're going to kick it off right away and start talking baseball, because something that I want to know, having been in Worcester all season long, I've been patiently waiting for a member of the Big Three to make it up to Worcester, and I feel like you guys have had them all season long. I feel like it's going to be another Cedar Rafaela situation where he comes up for like 7 days and then is in Boston, and it's like I barely even got to see him. So when do you think that they're going to make it to Worcester?
I mean, any day now. I think that every day we see the lineup and they're still in it, we're like, okay, we get them for another day. So we always are excited whenever they're still in our lineup. But you could tell, like, they're ready to move up anytime. And so it could be tomorrow, it could be at the end of the season. At this rate, I think we're all surprised that they're still here with us, but we're very lucky that they're in our lineup every day still.
Now, you talk about the surprise that they're still there, but on the other end of that, have you sensed any kind of frustration from them in that next move to AAA? Have you seen them like ready to go, or what have you sensed from the time that they've stayed in AA in the anticipation of that move up?
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's any frustration in that sense. The way that they carry themselves is very mature, very professional. And something that always sticks out to me about Marcelo is a quote that he always says: he just wants to be where his feet are. And you definitely see that in the way that he goes about his business every day. All three of them, I think, just love playing together. And to have them all on the same team is really unique and really special. So they're a very present group. And every day that they come to the field, you see just that excitement of getting to play together and just going about their business every single day. So I think they're, of course, going to be ready when the opportunity arises to have that promotion, but they're just going about their day and really taking advantage of every day here that they have in Portland.
I think Alex Spear was on one of the Worcester broadcasts this past week, and something that he said that stuck out to me was just that they use it as motivation. Like, they think to themselves, we're in AA because we're not yet ready for AAA, and they use that as kind of fuel for the fire. So, yeah, I love what you said there, Rylee. Who do you think is going to make it up first?
That's a great question. My first reaction would be Marcelo, just because of the sheer amount of doubles that he has had, and his batting average has been, above 300 for a while now. Roman Anthony, though, has gone on an absolute tear the last 2.5 weeks, I would say, has 4 home runs in the last couple of weeks also. So to me, it's kind of a toss-up between those two. Kyle Teel is a catcher. We look at the catchers in Worcester right now. It might be a little bit of a time for him to have a spot open up, but I would think Marcelo gets that first call.
Now, Laura and I are anxiously awaiting them to come up. I know that I haven't gotten to speak with them yet in my career, but I'm looking forward to the day that they do come up. But just for the media side of things, what is it like to interact with the Big Three? Is it easy to kind of chat with them? Do you sense that sometimes their youth kind of comes through in their interviews? Or what is it like as media members to interview and work with them as players?
They're honestly fantastic from the get-go. With the hype that comes around that kind of prospect group, all three of them at once, there was, of course, a lot of attention early on in the season, a lot of people wanting to talk to all three of them at the same time, and I think that they're really bought into that, and they understand that that's a part of the business, and also a really neat factor when you have that kind of prospect hype that people want to talk to you so often. So they're really great about every day, whether we need them for one interview or 3. They say, let us know where you need us and we'll be there. So they're awesome in that regard. Roman Anthony is another one that always stands out for me too. He just turned 20 years old, but by far just the most mature 20-year-old you'll ever meet. The way that he's able to articulate in interviews, he gives you great answers and just always some really great perspectives. So they're going to be more than media trained by the time they get to Worcester and Boston, and just a really great group to work with and great personalities every day.
I'm always so impressed with these young guys when they get brought up. I know Jackson Holliday came through Worcester this year, and he spoke with the media, and my biggest takeaway was just how poised he was, and the way he was able to communicate everything that happened to him that season was so impressive. I'm always just so impressed by all of these young guys when they come through all of these systems. But I'm curious too, like, how would you describe, like, what's a good story that sticks out to you guys about like one of their off the field personalities, or just a funny moment that maybe people don't get to know?
I think Lately we've been trying to incorporate them with more social media videos and stuff, and obviously Kyle Teel, the DJ on the side, DJ Bass Monkey. We knew that yesterday we're talking to him. We knew he'd be a good guy to ask about a music question, and not only did he answer our question for the video, he brought up the song and then started singing along to it. And he just has this outgoing, fun personality. You get him talking about music, and he starts performing for you. And just a really lively personality. Fun guy to interact with, for sure.
Okay, how is Kyle Teel actually as a DJ? I know that he's gotten a lot of attention for his DJ set, but what's the quality of DJing?
Well, from the consensus that we have, he DJs post game in the clubhouse. So I haven't seen it live, but I've heard really great reviews from all of the guys in the clubhouse. They love when he gets it going post game. They say it'll rattle the lockers too, because he's just got a whole setup with a board and everything like that. So we actually did ask him yesterday in the midst of that TikTok for a BP playlist with some of his mixes. So we're waiting on that, and we'll have an official review for you shortly.
Now, I'm curious to know, when it comes to the big three, who has the best walk-up song?
That's a good question. Yeah. And one that's been kind of a topic this season too. Roman Anthony's kind of gone through a couple changes in his walk-up song. I think he's on his third one this season, but I talked to him about his walk-up song because he wanted to change it to Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield, but he realized that Nathan Hickey had already had that one in AAA. So he said, actually, Rylee, can we change it back? I'm really sorry, but I can't do that. Nathan Hickey already has it. And so there is a bro code to walk-up songs. You can't take that from another teammate at another level in the system. But I would say his are always pretty good. And he talked about just how that becomes a part of the player's personality, and the crowd can get into it and buy into it. So he kind of changes his a couple times. Marcelo has a great one too, and Kyle Teel has always been Red Hot Chili Peppers, I think. He had that last season. We had him for 10 games, and he kept it this year. So they're all great, all very different genres. So.
That's awesome. I'm hoping you guys can put together a SoundCloud or something of Kyle Teel's, I don't know what you call DJ mixes or something. I'm not really into that lingo, but I would love to hear some. Who's somebody right now that's getting overlooked down there? Obviously, there's been so much conversation about these big three, but who else has been having a great season?
I mean, I don't know if he's being overlooked at this point, but Christian Campbell has absolutely exploded. He was not really ranked as a top prospect coming into the season, but now he's on top 30 list. He's on the MLB top 100. So I don't know if he's overlooked, but I mean, he's batting .373 for Portland in 45 games. He was batting over 400 for a very long time, and we were like, okay, when is he going to cool off? And have more of a normal batting average, but he hasn't. He's on a 22 game on base streak. He's absolutely tearing up the level, and has been great at the plate with adjustments. He's been very versatile defensively at shortstop, out in the outfield. He can do it all, and just a freak athlete at the plate, and has been really solid for Portland. And kind of sometimes the big three is always what we talk about, but we might make it like the big four with Christian.